Hey downtown van. Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
You're listening to Hey Downtown Van, hosted by the Downtown Vancouver BIA.
Hey Downtown Van, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Sofia Laratta, and today I'm joined by Bradley and Kalith, co-founders of Plug Vancouver. Plug Vancouver is a community-driven platform dedicated to connecting young professionals, creatives, and entrepreneurs across the city. Through curated events, networking opportunities, and digital content, Plug Vancouver fosters meaningful relationships and amplifies the city's emerging talent and culture. With a focus on collaboration and community, Plug has quickly become a go-to hub for those looking to engage, grow, and stay connected in Vancouver's dynamic social and professional scene. We're so happy to have them on the podcast today. It was such a great conversation, and we hope you enjoy. Bradley, Kalith, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So I feel like your faces are all over social media, but maybe for the people that don't know who you are, do you mind just introducing yourselves?
I'll let Brad go first.
Yeah, I'm Bradley, co-founder of Plug Vancouver. Born and raised in Vancouver my whole life. Help out a ton, really focus on everything we do content-wise. If you've ever seen me running up to you, harassing you on the street, asking you for a red flag, or if you want to answer a couple of questions for some money, I apologize. But yeah.
No apologies needed.
I'm Kalith. I'm one of the co-founders of Plug Vancouver. I spent the latter half of my life in Vancouver. I grew up in Surrey, and I take care of most of our strategic work behind the scenes, I would say, a little bit of operations, rely quite a bit on Brad for the marketing and content expertise. But yeah, that's just a bit about us. Although I should give a shout out to our team that makes Plug Vancouver who we are. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you have how many people on your team?
Well, good question. It really changes depending. We're really lucky because we have such a flexible team. Everyone really comes and goes. Members sometimes might go and travel, come back, support a lot more on content. I think right now we really have around 12 members on the
Nice.
team that are just really dedicated to really building the page, building out the communities within Vancouver.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, this is like not a side hustle, but you have full-time jobs, both of you, right?
Yep, we
So,
have
that's
full-time
pretty
jobs. I
crazy.
mean, that's a big part of what makes Plug what it is. Brad and I and a few of us on the team, we all went to school together, originally called the Plug UBC. So we all have our degrees in different areas, and we do have careers in that space. So,
Mhm.
but that's what makes it so special is that it's more than just work. It's really like our passion.
Yeah.
It's a creative outlet, and yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. Let's dive deeper into what inspired you both to create, I guess, Plug UBC, which is now Plug Vancouver. Was there a specific like gap or anything that you were trying to fill? Why did you start it?
I was at UBC second year, and UBC is known for its events. There's lots of events happening on campus. It's a lively school. You've got the fraternities, you've got the private events, but it felt like something was fragmented about campus. At the same time, I was always doom scrolling on Instagram, but I had to open Facebook to look at all the Facebook events of what's actually happening on campus. And then there's also talk about Freshman 15, right? That certainly hit me. So I had this fitness page that I was using in high school
Okay.
with like 12 followers. And I figured, you know what? I don't use this page. I don't really want to open Facebook anymore. And I'm sure there's a few other people on campus with that same vibe. Turns out Brad was. So yeah, just took all those events together, called ourselves the Plug UBC, put it up on Instagram, and then in a few weeks, the page was blowing up. I think lots of people found value in the fact that we brought all the events that were happening in and around campus to one place.
Mhm.
Did that with some good aesthetics, some humor here and there, some content. And from there, it just grew. So that was the key problem that we first set out to solve.
Yeah. And what year was that?
2019.
Yeah.
Way back
So
when.
right
Just
before
before COVID.
COVID.
Mhm.
So did you find that when COVID hit and TikTok became a huge thing, and Reels too, I feel like happened during COVID, did that change how you
100%.
made content and like put yourselves out there?
It was a huge sort of blessing and a curse, obviously, when you're an events company. And I
Is
mean,
that how it started? Was events?
Yeah.
Started with the weekly breakdown. A lot of
Yeah.
people, someone at work the other day, or a friend of mine was just saying, hey, I remember when you guys did the weekly breakdown, like that was such a cool thing. And it was just updating people about what was going on campus. And from then, I think it was really sort of celebratory to throw an event during Halloween.
Mm.
After we threw that, sold out, sort of a light bulb went off, thinking like, oh, we could do a lot more of these events. They're super fun to do with always had a bunch of friends asking for guest lists. We were pretty intertwined with everything. I'd say party scene wise at
Mhm.
UBC as well.
I was
But
a bartender at the
Nice.
local bar, or the pit. I should call it what it is, the pit.
Mhm.
I was a bartender at the pit, so that was a really easy in for us.
Mm.
Yeah, we hosted our first event there. It was sold out, and we used to. What Brad was saying about the weekly breakdowns, we used to post that every Monday and give people a breakdown of all the events that were happening on campus.
Cool.
We still do something like that to this day, but that's really what we were known for. And then eventually, people are joining the mission. They kind of like what we're doing, and then we figured why not throw our own events and then have that there as well.
Mhm.
But obviously, you start their own events, COVID hits, full shutdown. You can't really throw events. And that's when we started to really make that pivot into making content, doing a lot more on the media side. I think the first interview we ever had was with a cop on campus. Everyone was masked up. And we asked him, like, oh, what are your thoughts on fraternities and sororities? What are your thoughts on like red flags and whatnot? And we were lucky because the cop we went up to was super kind and
Mhm.
super into content himself. And
Cool.
from there, it was kind of a wake up call, but more of a, hey, we could do a lot more of this. People enjoyed the content. People wanted to see stuff like that at UBC at least, and
Mhm.
kind of snowballed from there.
So how did it transition to Plug Vancouver?
Another great question.
Yeah, it was well, at first we're called the Plug UBC. We're posting these weekly breakdowns, telling people about all the events happening on campus. This club's throwing that, this frat's throwing that, all these things were happening. We were often referred to as a club. Like people would come up to us and be like, "Oh, your club's cool," that blah blah blah. And I mean, this was initially just an Instagram page,
Mhm.
and then when we needed help for different things, like okay, maybe we need some help with graphics, we need help with photography, we needed help with yeah, I think, rounding up people, for example. So we put out a post, got some people involved, and from there it kind of snowballed. They say birds of the same feather flock together. So it was a bunch of really passionate people that had strengths in different areas. And we just always wanted to do something with it. So we're throwing events, our page is growing. COVID hits, desperate times call for desperate measures. So we're trying all these crazy things. Remember, Tala would go around, jump on libraries, and like yell about the parties that we were throwing on campus. We would ask Uncle Fatties, "Can you give us a $25 gift card?" Rain or Shine, "Can you give us a $25 gift card?" We'd give those out, and those did really well. So from there, you kind of keep growing, and we realized that the looks really ugly in front of it. But then what was uglier was the UBC part at the time because we wanted to grow beyond that. So then we switched to the Plug Vancouver.
Mhm.
We got a new logo, and then we dropped the later. Had
That
our
was a
Facebook
big
moment.
decision dropping the. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember we'd walk back from study sessions where we probably weren't studying too much and just thinking like like Facebook didn't have the social network didn't have it. Do we need the? But I
True.
think the thought with doing a lot more events at that point, sort of downtown, the thought was we're not really entirely focused on UBC. We had people following us from maybe SFU, Victoria,
Mhm.
things like that, and it felt like there was more value we could provide outside of just UBC.
Right. So was it like a natural transition into Vancouver? Like how did you grow your network in the city? Like how did you become so big and well known? You're kind of like
Big and well, no, I don't know.
well, you are. You are. I feel like it's like Daily
you.
Hive 2.0.
Means a lot.
Like
They're
you're
one
gonna
One
get
day,
there.
hopefully.
inspired by any brand like Daily Hive that made it out of Vancouver, right, to such a large scale. We're nowhere close to that, obviously. I mean, in terms of their national presence, but for sure, we were starting to see similar numbers on our social media, and but it's all about ideas, authenticity, and that just snowballs from there. So to Brad's point, we would be hosting an event, we'd make content about it, and that would reach someone in Burnaby or North Van, or even someone living downtown. And then we realized that. And then we also had venues that were approaching us from
Okay.
off campus, right? I remember at first we'd be kind of staying within a radius, then we go to West 4th Ave, then then we came downtown, and then Chinatown, and so on. So that I think we were called the Plug UBC even when we were throwing events at Fortune, for example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then we figured now's the time to make the switch. We also didn't want we wanted the brand to grow up with us. We all graduated eventually, and we realized now's the time. We'll call ourselves Plug Vancouver. It was a cleaner handle. We were able to get the domain, and we figured otherwise we wouldn't be able to grow, and we'd forever kind of be in that UBC.
It really made sense. I think we had some people at the team at that point who were from SFU and people that weren't all from UBC, and other people from maybe Langara and different colleges asking like, can we be a part of this team, and sort of collaborating with them and making content too. And that progression, it just felt like the next obvious step. Like Cal mentioned, it just snowballed from there. UBC, we love UBC and we're still super in tune with them. We have a couple other pages that are really intertwined with more of the university life. But Plug Vancouver felt like it didn't make sense to be restricted to everything college-wise. But obviously, I mean, a lot of our following, we're the target demo in a lot of ways. It's really a page for us and our friends. Just things that we always create with the thought is, if we don't like it, we won't post it.
And something to mention too that's important actually is we also realized that the problem that we were trying to solve on campus wasn't unique to campus. It was part of a bigger gap we felt in Vancouver in general of, you know what, there's so many cool things to do. It feels like not everyone seems to know about what's going on. We could get so many people out at the same time. And you know, when you're a student, you have a lot of people around you that are working as bartenders, servers, that are in that nightlife space as well. So you hear from them as well. Is that, you know what, the industry needs help. We can get some pushes. So that also, I think, motivated us to, if we were able to do something like this on campus, imagine what we can do in the city. And on campus too, it's a crowded space. You have AMS events, you have the calendar, and we've worked with them multiple times. They've inspired us. But we also wanted to do something more.
So would you consider yourself still an events company, or are you a media company now where you're doing a million different things?
I'd say we're registered as an event and
Nice.
media company. I think the event side is something we never want to shed. Like Cal mentioned, as we kind of grew up, the club scene, for example, and bars, that was the best. That's what we did whenever we could, almost every waking moment back in college. Still super fun. And part of that event side is just the community aspect. But we found that, I mean, for a lot of us on the team, as we kind of got older, there were younger people joining the team that, hey, we were kind of out of touch in some ways with like Gen Z lingo. Like they're saying all these
You're
things.
out
and
of
we're like,
touch
"Oh
with
my
Gen
gosh,
Z
what
lingo?
are we saying?"
How
right?
old are you?
26.
You guys are literally Gen Z.
Which
I get called a chop dunk.
all the time. Like we'll
Yeah.
have debates with the
Oh,
team about
I
like
must be extremely
new
chopped.
words coming up. But I think it was like the content side in the media is really where sort of the direction we're heading in. It's our way of being able to share a lot more Vancouver with people outside of Vancouver, whether that's Toronto, LA, beyond, right? That's kind of always been the mission. Amplify the city however we can and make it bigger for people in the city and people outside of it, making it a place that people could be proud of. And obviously events, it's something we never want to get rid of. We just had a really fun in-person event, which was like live dating, but that community aspect,
Oh,
without that,
heard about that.
like nothing else really seems to work. It's almost, you can't have the content without the experiences in person. So it's that perfect marriage. But the media side is sort of where we really want to head towards, because we can just share so much more of the city with more people.
Yeah, so cool. Was it the Pop the Balloon?
Pop the balloon.
Yeah,
It's
we
my
did
worst
Pop the Balloon
nightmare.
live.
It was insane.
For us, I mean, I think to your question as well, people have been confused in the past, but are you guys an events company, or are you making content? What are you? And Pop the Balloon to me felt like a really cool kind of, I used the word marriage before and I was told not to use that, but it was a good marriage of our content and our live events, I think pillars. So that worked really well. But something I always yap about is how Brad and I are often inspired by the same creators. We grew up watching the same YouTubers. I think at the end of the day, our passion is really around making people feel something, entertaining them, and whether that's through a screen or in person, they're very similar, just different mediums. But most of the videos I grew up watching online are based in Toronto or New York or London, LA. And to this day, even most of the content I watch, it comes from those cities. So
Mhm.
we feel like Vancouver can have that same spot. Why not Vancouver?
Mhm.
We don't need to replicate those cities, but we have our own stories, our own twists. It's always bothered me how the London fog was created here. It's not called the Vancouver fog.
Yeah, what the heck?
California roll, also not called the Vancouver roll. So, and we're in so many movies, but the city almost never plays itself.
Yeah.
And I think Plug Vancouver is a platform to make that happen. So
I love that. That's so inspiring. We need to put Vancouver on the map. I feel like it is on the map, but
is.
not to the degree that you're speaking of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
What was the biggest challenge in getting Plug Vancouver off the ground?
We talk a lot about just the team, and I think we've had so many people sort of join the team, leave the team, and without having that strong team, we wouldn't be where we are. Like, we go into meetings, we have a weekly meeting every Monday, for example, and it feels like you're just shooting the shit. Can I say that?
Yeah, go for
You're
it.
just shooting the shit with a bunch of friends sometimes, and it doesn't feel like a meeting, we feel like a family, which is, no, it's not that, but
or like besties.
Yeah.
besties,
Yeah,
right? And
we're a
like,
group
they
of friends.
drive everything we do, and I think we're also creative in the sense that, like Cal mentioned, we watch these YouTube videos, but so did everyone else on the team. And when we're inspired by these creators outside of Vancouver, inside of Vancouver, that's sort of what fuels everything we've built up. And I think a lot of those challenges we had early days was really figuring out, like, okay, how do we actually operate beyond just having 2 people on a team? How can we scale? How can we get 4 people, 5 people to do different aspects of running an event, but also running content at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And community. Like, we really lucked out. It went from Cal's fitness page, which was fantastic, and we'll have to show you that after.
Please.
It's all
post.
archived.
Amazing.
To UBC, like, we were so lucky with the fact that, I mean, when Cal first posted that weekly breakdown, it just really resonated with everyone. But if we didn't have those people support us through these events, support us through the content, we wouldn't obviously be here. And in a lot of ways, it was a lot of luck, but that early phase was really building something tight knit,
Mhm.
something where people would want to support you beyond just coming to an event. And that's sort of what drove everything else that we had, from
Mhm.
the content side of things, doing things that aren't club events, for example, like Pop the Balloon.
Yeah.
And to Brad's point about luck too, I feel like the reason we call it luck is a lot of things just, for example, COVID, that stopped us from being able to throw events.
Mhm.
The one thing we were telling our value at the time was telling people about the events happening on campus,
Mhm.
but all of that just ceased, right? I remember trying something called the wellness breakdown. This we were doing the weekly breakdowns. We're like, why don't we just tell people how to stay well? And we would put, a few exercises or tips and tricks here on it. It lasted like 2 posts. Clearly, no one
Yeah,
was.
no one wanted that. No one wanted
No
to
one
hear about
wanted to be
wellness
well.
from us.
Yeah, no. So, or they weren't really coming to Plug for that stuff.
Mhm.
But then that's when we made a stronger pivot to doing media and doing street interviews and asking
Mhm.
cops what they think about frats and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And we also wanted to do things that people just weren't doing. No one was asking those red
Yeah.
flag questions at the time.
At the
Now
time, now
everyone's asking
everyone's
it.
doing it.
But,
Yeah.
so that really helped too. But we're students. We're all in school. We have homework. We have part-time jobs, bartending, blah blah blah. You have your social extracurriculars. So when we had Plug time, it was really about how can we do something fun together that uses all our strengths.
Mhm.
So everyone just felt super comfortable pitching ideas and leveraging their own skill sets, their connections, what they have to make things happen. And I think that was really helpful because Brad and I weren't always necessarily prescribing what we should do. We were really facilitators, I would say,
Mhm.
of this group of people that are talented and they have crazy ideas, and we're like, why not? Let's just do it. Yeah, we're trying to think of we would
We've
like,
never had challenges.
oh, right,
Never.
challenge. That's where well, I'll give you some examples of crazy things we did. We would paint the engineering cairn, which is this big rock on campus, and paint it in different ways to promote our
Cool.
event. We might get in trouble for vandalism now, but
That was in the past.
Brad would dress up as a Santa Claus. We have the videos, and we'd push a cart around campus, giving people free Red Bulls and free cookies.
We'd
and
meet
stuff
like
during
old
Christmas.
professors or just like grandparents, the elderly kind of walking around who was smoking a joint. Like, we'd go up to them,
Yeah,
interview them, kind of hang out with them, see what they were doing, just all these crazy things. But a lot of that is just like a lot of trial and error. Like,
Mhm.
we bought a car. We don't have that car
we bought
anymore.
a car, a 1972 Coupe de Ville, because
Cool.
we had our Halloween event. and we made some money as a team. And
What do we
were
do
like,
with this $1,000 that we
and we
have?
weren't paying ourselves or anything at the time,
Right.
right? And we were like, how should we do this? What should we do? And I had the amazing idea of getting a car, but the only car we could afford was a $700 1972 Coupe de Ville,
Amazing.
and we had to pay to get it picked up after it stopped working.
We lost money almost immediately.
Yeah, well, insurance.
What was the vision
So
with
dumb.
the car? Just for you to drive it
We
around,
just
or was
wanted
it
a
like
campus? We
Be
want.
cool to have.
I've always wanted
Okay.
like a branded
The
car.
plug mobile was
Plug
kind of,
mobile.
the
right,
thought.
right.
Yeah. We just use it to drive around campus. And like we have a team photo, I think, or one of our early day team photos in front of it. But it was a good learning lesson and a challenge. But also when you have people that are really busy, they're in school, that are studying, doing work, blah, 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 and they find this outlet plug and they're working with us to do these things, it also gets difficult because now they're getting poached left and right with all these different opportunities and skill sets. Because, at the time, we'd always hear about brands that are approaching our team members and being like, hey, we like what you're doing with Plug, come work for us. And we've always been supporters of growing as an individual. And I think that's why we have team members that have been around all 6 years and are still creating content with us, because we want everybody to grow with the organization.
Yeah, which is great. But I guess it's just a testament to like how good you are at your jobs. I was just thinking like Plug Vancouver on a resume, like founders of Plug Vancouver is like, it's huge. It proves that you can literally, if you can build your own brand, you can build anybody's brand, right?
That means a lot. There was definitely that point where people on the team would be applying for something and it's like, hey, I got to take off Plug Vancouver. It's not on their LinkedIn, for example. And we're like, hey, where did it go?
Oh yeah,
Um,
we've been through that.
But now it's the fact that we've had people on the team tell us like they hired me because of this, because of
Yeah.
this experience, or they've used this as a platform to launch their own careers. We always tell people, hey, come create. If there's an idea you have and you don't think you can execute on that alone, pitch it to us. Let's see if we can do something, because it's fun to just try these different ideas. And we're in a place where we can support them in that way with whatever resources, with a platform. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least we tried. But if you blow up from there, that means a lot more to us too. It means that we were able to help you be successful in whatever they're creating too.
Yeah.
We have friends in crazy places now, and that's a strength because of Plug alumni are all over your favorite brands in the city.
Give me some examples.
Canucks. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Canucks. No one playing on the Canucks.
Yeah.
Another person's touring with Chris Brown,
What?
which is super interesting.
Wow.
Other people, just agencies, a lot of creative work, local team, Bandits, Lions. It's really cool.
That's really, really cool.
One of them is a FIBA agent now. Is it FIBA or FIBA? But yeah.
Wow, you should be very proud of that. The fact that these brands want these people to work for them. That's very cool. What's been a defining milestone moment for the both of you? What was that one moment where you were like, okay, this is going to be something?
1,000 followers.
1,000 followers is cool. 10,000 was cool. We hit 10,000. We joke about it because everyone lost their shit because we're like, oh my gosh, we're at 10K, because you go from having zeros or numbers to having that K. And then we immediately dropped back and we're like, oh no, people are unfollowing us. Went back, kind of bounced up and down. But from 10K, it was 11K, then 12K. And there's so many different milestones I think that we have when we
Subtle flex.
we'd throw an event. And I think there was one I remember being in Cal's dorm room.
I'll never
We
forget that.
posted it, and within like 2 minutes, it had sold out. And we were like, holy
We
smokes,
watched
this
it
is
just-
so cool.
So cool.
Yeah. I remember looking at you too at that moment, being like, whoa.
Well, highs and lows. We've also done events that have done horribly. And we'll try a different video idea, put a bunch of resources into it, a lot of money, and lose out on it. But those are also in a lot of ways milestones, because if we don't try those things, we'll never know how to improve on them. Like the studio series we've tried out, we have this thing called Guess Who, hugely inspired by Jubilee. You could call it the same thing, but our twist is really to make it relevant to the city. Like everything we try is to try and bring experiences from other places, and everyone always says Vancouver is this dead city, it's not fun, it's a no fun city, it's boring. So our thought is, why can't we make that more eventful, more exciting? Come to this thing that you see filmed across the world and try it in Vancouver. Guess who's from Langley? Guess who's from Surrey? We lose a lot of money making these videos, but we have a lot of fun doing it, and we find like it's worth it, because the positive reviews we hear about them, the people on the show, like their experiences, that's what our mission is. It's like to amplify the city, show the people, show the faces,
Mm-hmm.
show the stories, and make it eventful.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not gonna spend money to make money, we spend a lot more money than we make, but that's kind of all
That's
part
business,
of it, right?
right?
Yeah.
That's showbiz, as they say.
If I may, I'll also add to milestones is part of amplifying the city is also talking about things that are happening. So if there's a BC Lions game, a Whitecaps game,
Mhm.
we would obviously talk about that game. We'd be interviewing people outside the stadium. But, you know, when you reach a point where now you're working with the BC Lions,
Right.
you're working with the Whitecaps,
Yeah.
and you have team members that are wearing a media pass inside asking the
Mm.
Jonas Brothers a question.
Crazy.
Like, those are a bit surreal moments, right?
Yeah.
And I think we constantly have imposter syndrome in general. So it's cool. I mean, even being on this podcast, right, being recognized by Downtown Van is a huge deal for us. And I think
Aw.
that's why we're still questioning our impact and our reach, because
Mm.
we've seen it go from the Plug UBC
Mhm.
to what it is now.
Yeah, imposter syndrome is so real, especially when you're a young person trying to build a business or a brand or whatever it is.
Mhm.
But no, I think you guys should be super proud of what you're doing. I mean, even around the office, people always talk about, oh, did you see that video from the Plug or
Really?
whatever? Yeah, you're talked about all the time. So excellent
Hope it's
job.
positive. We've done a lot of
Always.
wrongs too.
We were gonna send two fakes here and film a prank.
Yeah, we
video,
thought
but
maybe
You
you know
should
us too
have.
we're
well.
gonna save that for the next
Next time you can prank me. How do you see Plug contributing to Vancouver's culture? Because I know you mentioned the No Fun City and everything like that. How are you trying to change that?
I think that's really a big part of it. It's even on posts, like we'll post something about an event that's coming to the city. It's supposed to be an event that people can attend, people can have fun at, and we'll have people comment, "The city sucks. The city's so boring," and we'll reply
Mhm.
back like, "Bro, we need you to come to these things. Like, let's make it fun together." And it's
Yeah.
we're no better sometimes. Like on a Friday night after a long week of work, the team will message like, "Oh, is anyone going out?" And everyone's like, "No, I'm staying home. I'm watching Netflix." And like
Mhm.
we're at fault for that too.
Mhm.
But whenever we can, wherever we can, it's like if we're not trying to create these events for the city, if we're not trying to have fun and revive it, no one's ever gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like Cal mentioned, it's the thought with Plug Vancouver is everything is in LA, everything is in Toronto,
Mm.
things are in London. Why not Vancouver? Why can't it ever be here?
Mhm.
So it's amplifying not just everything in the city, the faces, the stories, the talents, the brands, the businesses, the creators, and sharing that with other people in Vancouver, but also sharing that on that global platform.
Mhm.
And like we talked about, like media is, we're lucky because you don't have, like, once upon a time there wasn't TikTok, there wasn't Instagram, there wasn't Threads. Threads doesn't do too well.
Not a Threads guy.
Right?
No.
But I think that it's that impact from the community aspect is bringing people together, sharing stories, but then taking all that in person and then being able to distribute that online.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's been like a pattern on this podcast where we've talked about the No Fun City, and everyone always says like you have to make the fun yourself. Like if no one's going to do it, someone's got to do it. Otherwise there's going to be no fun in the city. So it's cool that you guys are doing that. I
You
think that's
guys are
important.
too. Like
Thank
downtown
you.
Van,
Yeah,
it's
Downtown Man plays a huge role, I feel
Thank
like,
you.
in enabling that.
Mhm.
And you need an organization like this that seems to be the mission, right? Is to really amplify the city, and it's aligned with what we're craving to do. But there's a few sides to it where we want to be part of building that fun, so that our in-person events or experiences, we want to be a part of amplifying the community here. We're not trying to change the culture, we're rather just trying to boost it,
Yeah.
enhance it, exactly. And that includes sharing that with what makes Vancouver, but also taking Vancouver and showing the rest of the world. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of, it's a 3-step kind of mission that we're building up
Mhm.
to, and that's why our Guess Who series, our expansion to YouTube, that's really
Mhm.
us taking it to the global stage.
Do you have followers and viewers from around the world? Like what's your demographics looking like?
we've got a lot in Vancouver.
Mhm.
Sometimes
Majority.
there's always some people in Asia, some in
Cool.
India, some in London. I think it's cool seeing when you have some viewers from around the world.
Mhm.
But the most of it is centralized all in Canada, which is also sort of the focus right now. It's how can
Yeah.
we start in Canada, share within Canada, some stuff in LA,
Mhm.
occasionally something in like Miami, but it's
Mhm.
really Vancouver focused right
Mhm.
now. And On YouTube, would have to check those analytics. We haven't. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're not always focused on the analytics, which isn't great either. It's
That's
just how,
okay.
what can we make?
Yeah. And like, how can you grow the
Mhm.
YouTube channel too? YouTube is hard.
It's a tough medium.
Back in the day, I feel like that's where people went viral and got their followings, and now it's so hard.
All the
It's a
vloggers,
grind.
like your
Yeah.
pranksters and all this stuff, but it's
Mhm.
different world, especially with like TikTok. Sometimes it feels like TikTok isn't even the platform, right?
No. Yeah. I feel you. What's next for Plug Vancouver? What's some things that people can look forward to?
So we're going to be doing more of our live shows. We're still ironing out what that looks like. Do we keep doing Pop the Balloon, or do we have a few wild ideas? So it's really about refining them, making sure that the city will like it. But to me at least, I'm really excited about having content that we can show to millions, but was created in a space where it's locals from Vancouver enjoying a show.
Mhm.
So Pop the Balloon was a good testament to that.
How did that go?
It was insane. I
Yeah.
think leading up to it, like that, we were so lucky with the cast that we had, like everyone that had applied. One, every time we do any sort of event, it's like it's crazy that you guys are willing to spend your time and actually be here.
Mm-hmm.
From the bachelors, the bachelorettes, to just the audience. Like we looked out from behind, sort of on the wings, and we saw just every age you could imagine, like
Love
Mhm.
that.
grandparents, full families, and it was just
Oh.
it was such a fun time. We gave everyone these red flags in the crowd, so if there was ever a red flag, people would stand up and yell and like, no,
Yeah.
like get them off, get them off.
Yeah.
But it was a huge success, and
Good.
we're hoping we can do it again, and just really positive reviews.
And we'll have the videos
Yeah.
coming out soon.
Nice.
It'll be on our social media. But yeah, hopefully keep doing that.
I love that. Where do you see Plug Vancouver in the next 5 years? Long-term vision.
Good question. We talk about this a lot in terms of like, okay, what happens with Plug Vancouver? When you're called Vancouver, obviously you want to share Vancouver with the world, but you can only go so far sometimes.
Mhm.
Another blueprint is you think New York Times. New York Times is everywhere. Vancouver, hopefully one day can be the New York Times, or it's seen as New York. It won't be in probably the next 3 or 5 years. You never know.
Never know.
But for us, I think it's really doing a lot more of those in-person experiences.
Mhm.
I think if we were to measure Vancouver's fun meter almost in terms of how fun is it that no fun city? Is it a fun city? We're definitely on that no fun right now. And
Mm.
in 5 years from now, if we could re-gauge it and have people comment and be like, oh, this is such a cool city, have people want to fly here more often for the different events we have, whether it's a huge festival thrown by another local company, Blueprint or something, just more people celebrating the city and making people proud to
Yeah.
be from Vancouver.
Yeah. The thing about the no fun city that really bothers me is I feel like it's always the locals that think
Mhm.
we're not fun.
Mhm.
But I'm not from Vancouver. I moved from Calgary in 2015. And compared to other places in Canada, Vancouver is so fun. Like we have Rogers Arena, all of the big names come here. We have music festivals.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, to me it's fun.
Like we're lucky. The fact that sometimes like you see all these concerts coming to Vancouver, not everyone gets that.
no.
Like if
No,
you're
yeah,
a
we
100-mile
are-
house, you're not getting
yeah.
Yeah.
half this
Well,
stuff,
yeah.
right?
No, yeah. No, we get. I mean, Vancouver's an underrated city, right? Like we're
Yes.
hosting FIFA. We've had the Olympics here, but
Mhm.
but we cater to the locals, if that makes sense. Or
Mhm.
you're a local now, so like we cater to people that are living here that aren't seeing what we think everyone could be seeing.
Yeah.
But there's like you said, you also have to build the fun when
Mhm.
you're visiting. There's obviously so much to do. You have the time. But when you're living here, and you're even things like cost of living, for example.
Yeah, true.
Right. That's why things like summer movie nights that Downtown Van throws, and all these events that you're able to throw to bring people out and have
Yeah.
these low barrier things that's bringing community together. And
Mhm.
I think that's why Plug Vancouver is really lucky to be a part of that when those happen.
Mhm.
But we need more of that. We need more things that are catering to people, low barrier, helping people go out and have fun. But also, I think creating content is part of that, is right, sharing Vancouver culture, sharing things that are happening, but we always try to be authentic. We stopped doing hidden gems because we felt like these gems aren't really hidden. We're also just, so
Yeah.
now when we actually find a hidden gem, we'll call that a hidden gem and post it. So I think that authenticity matters a lot.
Big time. Do you think you'd ever expand into Toronto and have Plug Toronto, Plug Calgary?
People always say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you guys gotta come to
Every
Toronto."
time.
Toronto is a big city when you really compare it to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we really think about where could we have the biggest impact, it's definitely more on the West Coast. So starting, like you said, in Calgary. If Calgary is a no fun place, if Calgary has more stories to tell, that's something we'd want to be a part of and somewhere we'd want to be before Toronto. Like there's so many amazing creators in Toronto, Vancouver as well, but it feels like those areas almost not neglected, but areas that maybe
Need more hype.
need more hype.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Plug Kelowna.
Plug Kelowna.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with what Brad said about like the West Coast. I think that is the focus. We have so much room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you compare us to Daily Hive and all this stuff, their numbers are also a lot bigger right now. We're getting there and we can clearly see the growth rate, but we want to take over the West Coast. We want to be the leading center for content, for entertainment, for experiences, and for culture that make the city what it is. And you can't really do that, I feel like, if we're spreading our focus with the East Coast.
Right.
And obviously, the population's threefold. They also have way more going on. So we have lots of room to grow. We have lots to offer. And I think we just want to double down on that.
Yeah.
So if this is what we can do so far, we're just really excited to see what else we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you give to other people trying to create fun in Vancouver?
Actually, that's something, sorry for the ramble, but in my last ramble, that's something I wanted to add as well, is the team. I think if we had really passionate, motivated individuals that knew Calgary inside out and really love Calgary, I think Brad, myself, our team, we love this city. We want to live here. We want to, build our lives here. And if there's somebody like that in Calgary and a group of people like that, that's a huge part of the ingredient that you need to make it happen. So I would say, like, get your team right. Find folks that are driven by passion and are looking to earn their living through that passion, not the other way around. So what about you, Brad?
Similar. It's really finding a good team. You can do a ton at the start yourself, and it's important that you do creating content, trying things, failing, but not seeing that as a setback. It's your launch pad to move forward. But the team is so important as you build, as you scale. If anything really wants to grow, you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Again, we've been so lucky. Like Cal mentioned, the passion for the city is huge. We have people on the team that aren't from Vancouver either. Like people that weren't born here, moved here, people in New West and Langley and Ladner, but that's also part of Vancouver. Well, how we like to think of it, there's more than just downtown.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people think all the fun is just focused in one area, it goes beyond that. And having a team that's also willing to amplify a lot of that, when seeing things as sort of glass half full, where there's all these other things to share and highlight. So why aren't we doing that instead of just sort of getting down on the city and saying like, oh, there's nothing. There's always something out there, but people that are willing to go seek those out and then share them.
Yep. You have to look for it. You have to make the fun too.
And for example, like there's studio series that we do. Guess who's from Surrey? Guess who's from Langley or whatever? Richmond. We're going to be doing Guess Who's from Vancouver, but that's season finale. Those, we're reinvesting. We're getting the studios, we're getting lights, we're getting equipment. We're really trying to do it correctly. But we also have team members that are willing to take those risks with us, right? And invest in those ideas and and that's really important. And we don't really, if anything, we're not getting pushback. We're always getting crazier ideas. So pursuing those and having a group that's like just with you on it and on the same wavelength is very good. And they're all way more talented than Brad and I.
Oh,
no, like I said,
I'm sure
we're
you're
the
all
facilitators.
so equally talented.
No, we can yap and we have good ideas.
We're good at yapping.
Yeah.
Good at yapping.
That's why you're here, because you're the yappers.
Exactly.
I love it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. And also it's just like, you have to just do it, right? Like I'm sure there's so many people that have really cool, amazing ideas, but you guys did it and other people can do it too. They just have to do
Just
it.
gotta take the first step.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot that we can definitely do more of too. And sometimes perfection will stand in our way, or just the fear of wanting to get started. We always talk about like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? A new video idea. If we're like, oh, but we could lose this. What if people hate it? But you just got to do it sometimes. Same
Yeah.
with Hey Downtown Van. This wasn't a podcast a couple of years ago, and when you're
You
talking
did it.
about this before the show, it's pitched it. Here's an idea. Let's try it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then it turns into something. And maybe if it's not as fast as you want it to be, it will grow eventually, right? Just got to
Yeah.
keep trying.
Consistency is also key for sure.
Yeah. We're going to do some rapid fire questions then. Answer as quickly as you can.
Okay.
And don't think about it. Just
Who first?
Just say it. You can, whoever wants to
It's
go
like the
first.
best friend challenge. If we say the same answer. Yeah.
Say it at the same time. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Granville Street, Yaletown, or Gastown for a night out?
Rapid fire.
Granville
not
Street.
very rare. I'd say Granville. I'd venture Yaletown.
Yaletown, I think first thought is Yaletown, but then today
Who
I
are we
would say
with? That's
Granville
the
Street.
question. Who are we with?
Right now, I would
Whoever
say
you want.
Granville Street. Yeah.
Okay, period. We love that. Everyone listen to that. Granville Street is the place. House music or hip hop?
Hip hop, house. Oh, these questions not very rapid fire.
Yeah.
Um,
Hip hop in the winter, house in the summer.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
period. Love that. Do you think it's hard to make friends and meet new people in Vancouver?
Yes.
Yep. Tougher than other cities, perhaps.
Why do we think that?
It's not going to be a
Plug
rapid
Vancouver's
fire
not big
answer.
enough.
We're not doing
Okay.
our job. Not enough.
Okay, we'll
content.
talk about it offline. Funniest moment from a video.
There's a lot of videos.
Wait. Let me.
Let me think.
There's so many
There's some
moments
funny
coming, and
stuff
you
that
can't
has
mention
happened.
some of them, and like
There's
they're
some ones
just-
where we're filming or like we're dying behind the camera.
Yeah,
Or we start
there's-
laughing and then whoever we're making the video with, they start laughing too because they just can't believe they said something.
But in
I
that
love that.
one time when you were dressed up as Santa and we were walking around campus, first of all, that whole thing was just ridiculously funny. I'll show you the video later.
Please.
And then this one lady walks up, a bit of an more older lady. So the age doesn't matter, but the only reason I mentioned that is because you don't expect them to pull out a joint and then light it up and just start smoking it right in front of you on
That's
campus.
so funny.
We caught the whole thing on video and then we made a TikTok with her. I think that
I love
but There have
that.
been some crazy moments.
I love that. First event you ever threw, how did it go in one word?
Shocker.
Shocker. It was called Shock.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Perfect. One word to describe Vancouver's nightlife right now.
Adventurous.
Okay.
Do you want us to like elaborate on it? I don't know.
It's up to you.
I mean, there's a lot of, it's cool. It's like you look downtown, there's a lot of different clubs. Each club kind of has its own vibe and scene.
Mhm.
And I think every year people kind of shift in terms of what's that's not necessarily trending, but different taste, I think, in
Mm.
culture, whether it's hip hop, like you said, house,
Mhm.
whether it's country,
Mhm.
right? And I think that's something unique about the city. It's you can, within at least a certain square radius, you can walk around and hit up every sort of different type of genre.
Yeah.
Depending on the night.
Depending on the night,
Yeah.
depending on who you're with.
Yeah, very true. I'm not a country gal
My
myself.
one word is it depends.
Fair. Fair enough. Do you want to elaborate?
Well, I mean, depending on the
Depends.
night. Yeah. It
Depends.
like depends on so many different factors, right? Who you're with, what night of the week, what the weather's like, who the DJ is.
Very
Do
important.
you know someone in there? Is it packed? There's just so many variables at play,
Yeah.
which is why we have an opportunity in this space. I think. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah. We can kind of fix all that and make the ideal night for someone.
Absolutely love that. Who's your dream collab, artist, brand, or creative?
There's so many people. Sorry, these aren't very rapid fire.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say like honestly the downtown van collab we did last year for summer movie nights was a bit surreal. I remember
Oh.
our team members sending us photos of our logo on the poster on a SkyTrain station, for example, or a bus stop, which was really cool to
Yeah.
see. But next level, like
Dream.
I don't know.
to do
Collab.
downtown van again.
Yeah.
Wow,
Downtown
lucky
van.
for
Yeah,
you.
no, but I think, for example, getting Van City to
Mm.
collab with us on a Money Shot episode
Ooh, that'd be cool.
would be incredible, right?
Mhm.
Then you're enabling local original content creation, and we get to collab with a cool Vancouver-based brand.
Yeah.
But even maybe a formal partnership with the Canucks, for
Yeah,
example.
that'd be
Half
cool.
our team's diehard Canucks fans.
Mhm.
Working with them would be cool. But I also see why they don't see the need to do that, because we're already constantly promoting Canucks stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, we kind of do what we love. So back in the day when we would throw events and barely any brands really knew about us, we would take logos and just put it on the poster to make it look legitimate.
Wait, I'm crying. Really?
Yeah. Like we did, I'm trying to think of a
Did
logo I
anyone
can
clock
mention
you
and
for
not-
that?
We have these. We do these
Maybe Red
April
Bull
Fools
Mm.
pranks every year too, and we just put like a bunch of sponsors, just
Yeah.
whoever we could.
We take like the nude beverages logo and just stick it on so it looks like we were sponsored by a local.
We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, Molson. Yeah, we definitely don't do that anymore. But
But hey, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, gorilla.
That's funny. One word to describe each other.
Visionary. Oh, that's gonna glass you up with the glaze.
No, but visionary. Yeah, I was thinking like creator when I think of Brad, but also like too many words are popping up in my head. Like, he's also very kind
Aww.
and a high quality individual.
Period.
Really like so multifaceted, I would say.
Yeah, we could go back and forth, just like
glazing each other.
But Kalith, it's very well, like we butt heads all the time.
Yeah.
The number of debates we've had, the number of arguments we've had, just it's always to get to the right idea. But I think something for you is just the idea and knowing that heck, we have to try it or we'll never know. Right? I don't know what that word is.
Risk taker.
Risk taker.
Love it. A venue in Vancouver you've always wanted to take over.
Duffin's Donuts.
Period.
Duffin's Donuts.
Can't top that. Yeah.
Why not?
Duffins. Get us back up.
Not take over as in working.
Throw an event.
Throw an event
Yeah,
at Duffin's.
I think
That'd be a
Ron-
It would be a
dream.
vibe. Best DM you've ever received on the Plug account.
Can you please take this video?
Yeah,
down?
we've had a lot
My
of
ex doesn't like it.
Oh, that's tea. That is tea.
Or my girlfriend won't like to see that photo of me.
You know what?
Yeah, we've had
Self-aware
some crazy
king.
DMs.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I'm always team keep it up, but then team's always like, no, we should take it down. So
Well, I mean, they volunteered to do it in the first
That's the
place.
thing.
and legally we're totally okay to keep it up in those situations, but we also have hearts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try to be good people.
That's our problem sometimes. Like Brad has a huge heart.
Right. But you have a
Mine's-
huge heart for cheaters? That's the
Ooh,
question.
That's the thing, right?
Right?
That's
That's
those
what-
are the
yeah.
questions we ask. Like, how kind are we?
The
Yeah,
moral
right?
dilemmas
Oh, yeah, this
over
one's up,
here.
yeah.
That's funny though. Okay, one viral trend that you hate and you want it to be over.
What's a red flag?
We're guilty.
Yeah, a lot of what we do sometimes, like we'll go out and we'll film content, and we're like, man, like why did we do that? Like we're sick
Feel
of this
that.
question too.
ChatGPT titles.
Yeah,
Mm,
the M dash trends of
the M dash.
It's not really a trend though.
I
And we're
loved
guilty
the
of
M
it too
dash.
sometimes, but-
Okay, one trend you're really liking right now.
a lot. It's not really a trend, but I think lookalike contests.
Yes.
I just think they're so funny.
Can you throw one? You should do Hudson Williams lookalike
Yes.
content.
Yeah,
UBC, a bunch of students been doing like really funny ones out there, and it's just hilarious
we should do
seeing the
it.
people you do. Yeah,
Let's do it.
Please.
We'll
I'll
make it
be
happen.
I'll be
Downtown
there.
Van, yeah.
What's harder, getting people to show up to an event or going viral on TikTok?
Getting people to show up.
getting people to show up for an event.
Do you find that Vancouver's a very last minute city? Like, do your tickets sometimes sell out like the
All the
day
time.
of? Yeah.
Well, UBC, that's when we would like really sell out ahead of time. And that was, the first couple of years that we threw events sold out. But now I would say, based on my experience, Vancouver's a very last minute city, like very, very last minute.
Everyone in sort of the event space also knows, like if it's
Mm.
a comedy show, any nightlife event, your tickets aren't going to sell until almost like close to the day of. And it's
So
just, you
annoying.
talk to people too. It's like, what are you thinking? I'll see what my friends are thinking day of, right?
Oh, the flakiest city in the world, in my
Exactly.
opinion. That was like the first thing when I moved here. I was like, everyone is so flaky.
Flaky.
Like, just commit.
Yeah.
Let's do something. Your go-to late night spot after everything wraps.
I think it always changes. Last 2 nights ago, I went to, there's that poutine spot next
Fritz.
to, yeah, exactly. Next to the Blends, right?
Mhm.
Fritz, yeah. Yeah, that's a, good spot. It really depends,
Depends what's open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what you're
true.
craving. Yeah. Like Duffins, if it's open late
Huge
enough and you have
lines
someone
at
to
like 2
drive you.
a.m. Don Air Dude
Yes.
is always open on Uber Eats.
Nice.
Love Don Air Dude.
But that's just the beauty of Granville. That's why I said Granville
Yeah,
Street
'cause
before.
that's
Is like
where-
you turn right, you can get poutine. You turn left, you can get McDonald's. You can get like almost anything.
Mhm.
If you also have the hot dogs a few blocks down. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's good.
Granville is a vibe. What's one thing people don't see behind the scenes?
There's a lot of work that goes behind everything. And obviously, like, people sometimes might show up and assume that we're prepped, but maybe we're over preparing. But there's a lot of people that go into, maybe, like, if we do a street interview, it's never just one person doing it. Obviously, it's never
Mhm.
just the interviewer and the filmer. There's so many ideas. There's so many discussions that we have. There's people that help us make sure we can fund something that we're doing. There's people that make us or help us find a sponsor to also then fund what we're going to create.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of faces behind all the content we make. And like, we're so lucky. Like, this
Mhm.
studio series, we glaze a lot of people, but it's true. Like, without these people, like Marlon, for example, there's one of the most talented creators on our team. He also has his own agency with another group called Unruly, and they're making some of the best content out there as well. But the fact that we're able to work with these people and know someone who has a friend who's willing to help out with the project, there's all these moving parts. And what we hope is that when people watch the video, they don't have to think about that. It's just, I can laugh for a bit.
Totally.
I can, I don't know, get pissed off at something we create, maybe rage bait them or something. But at the end, leave entertained. And but yeah,
People don't see. I think that obviously the time, but most people in our shoes would say that. I think time, work, expensive. Like, things are, you
Yeah.
just don't think about it. But like, there's like these crazy things that you have to get. Even licensing and right, like you need to have the right documents and you have to pay the right taxes and blah blah blah.
Yep.
So that all adds up, and I think most people seem to not be so aware of that. And then the people too. Like, we're a very face first organization or brand, right? You look at our social media, you're going to see all these different faces. If you're at an event like Pop the Balloon, you'll see all those different faces, but the number of faces behind the scenes that like no one sees, that are doing lots of work, important, like critical work behind the scenes, is quite insane. So, and that's not really seen, but
Yeah, no, it's hard work being a small business and entrepreneurs, but also like growing a brand is hard work and getting followers is hard work. And I don't think people really understand like how much work goes into those things. So, so true. Okay. One thing you change about Vancouver's culture scene overnight, if you could, just like that.
I think run trains for longer, which would be helpful. The number of times even people on our team, they're at an event, our own event, and they're like, I got to take off. We're like, bro, it's 11:30. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They're like, I have to make the train to get home. And at the same time, you'll see there's always like a group of people at any venue, and you can tell like, oh, they must not be from Vancouver because they have to catch that train and get back out to Langley, Ladner, Delta or something.
Yep. No, that's so valid.
yeah, I really like that. I think just making movement easier, maybe it might help with the flaking problem, make it easier to get to places. Like, you know, you're from Calgary, so you know Calgary as a city, the city limits are huge, right? And that the city limits of Calgary is essentially what we refer to as Metro Vancouver, which includes multiple other municipalities. And the planning and all that stuff is not the same. It's not centralized. While in Calgary, it's quite centralized. The transit, or even if you're driving, right? It's there's the ring roads and all that stuff. It's really well done. So I think making movement easier would be key.
Period. Love it. Okay, final question. Who is someone in the city doing it right now? If you have
Downtown
any-
Van, I would say.
Period.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And most, I don't know if like you are a BIA, right?
Yes.
Technically speaking, most people, even on our team, they don't register Downtown Van as a BIA. I think you've done an excellent job with your branding, with your reach, with the way you communicate to folks, and
Thank you.
the way you make creators like us feel involved and part of the city. I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so
and
much.
Not saying that because we're here. I would have said that elsewhere too.
Aw. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We love working with you and your entire team, and we look forward to collabing more in the year to come.
Likewise.
Means
Thank
the
you.
world. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Hey Downtown Van. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode with Bradley and Kalith. If you'd like to learn more about our organization and all that we do, you can visit our website, dtvan.ca, follow along with the podcast at Hey Downtown Van, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for listening.